don't know if you've heard in the news lately, but Donald Trump recently got recorded saying a lot of really vulgar things about women when he was for Access Hollywood, saying stuff, how, when you're a star, essentially you can go up and kiss girls whether they like it or not, that whole thing. Are you surprised or not?
I would say the latter of the two. I mean, there's really no reason to be surprised about how Trump feels and speaks about women since he was a young man. I mean, there's literally documents, footage, probably archival footage that people haven't seen for over 2 decades of him saying worse things than he's probably been saying.
Exactly.
While he's running the campaign.
I don't really understand why this video of all, because honestly, he actually apologized for this one, if you can believe it. Yes, I know. You wouldn't actually think that was ever possible.
Wait, he apologized?
He did the politician's apology where, I'm sorry if anybody was offended.
Oh, that's not a real apology. Come on.
True, it's not. It's not. But that's the closest he's gotten to it.
Right, that's true.
This got to.
That's true.
But that's because apparently the difference is just that in this time he was saying stuff, you can grab their pussy if you want to. What? Yeah, he said that. Yeah, you can grab her pussy if you want to. Yeah, and I made a move on her, and she was married, and this is when he had a wife and everything. Just like, and his response was that this was 10 years ago. I was an entertainer then.
So, I mean, do you feel surprised by his words at all?
No. I mean, honestly, this is like people being surprised that Kanye West does stupid things. It just doesn't make any sense. Or that Kim Kardashian is rich. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's just like, this guy does that. People think it's an act. No, this is literally who this man is. Right. A human being is actually like that.
No.
And
it's habitual too, because he's been doing it for decades.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, there's a recording of him saying, you wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful. Stuff like that. Like, how is this any worse? And suddenly this crosses the line. So, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
So I guess what tickles my mind is, in terms of all of his supporters, how are they responding to this newly released found footage?
Actually, what actually happened was that one of the GOP congressmen, who actually is one of the heads of the committees, he pulled the support for him. There's questions of whether or not Paul Ryan is going to now. Okay. But we don't really know what that could, we really know what that's going to lead to. But the reality is, I don't know if you've ever met a Trump supporter. I have. Mm-hmm. And
I met quite a few, actually.
Yes, exactly.
They actually are pretty more condensed and spread out across the nation than I actually thought they would be.
Yeah, you'd think that. It seems like there's a certain type of people, not necessarily Republican, not necessarily, conservative, but they're Trump supporters regardless. I mean, it's like, I don't quite understand.
Some feel he's also close to second in command when it comes to the Pope, then him, or Jesus.
He criticized the Pope. Did you know that? He got into
he should if he's number 2, because technically, he's only one stage below. So whoever has the ability to do it, it'll be the next in command. I mean, come on.
Honestly, no. But the thing is that what I also noticed about him is that in many ways he is both the best from a perspective and worst of America from a perspective, depending on who you ask. Because if you think about it, the idea of ostentatious wealth, full-on philandering, not like the selfishness, like a room full of gold, a golden freaking toilet. If you think about it, so in some ideas, that's people's idea of the American dream.
Right, yeah, most definitely.
Having all that. Honestly, when you think about it, if I had his money, it'd be pretty awesome. Honestly, if you could switch minds with him right now, and actually you would have his mind, but you had all the things that he has, would you do it?
Would I change minds?
Yeah, would you, if they could do a brain transplant without him knowing, and you could implant your brain into his head, and he could put in his brain into your head.
So I just take over his body like a surrogate?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Would I do it? What would be the negative associations with that? Just taking on the negative drawback of who he is as a person?
You would be Donald Trump.
But we'll put it like this. Yeah, I'd say most definitely, to answer the question in short, yeah. Because if let's say tomorrow I wake up as Trump, I wake up in his body, I would be me the way I speak. I wouldn't be conducting myself. Unless I want to be cruel. Drive him over the cliff because he's standing there.
God.
And then technically say it. Or if you want, I usually buy one of those Elon Musk $10 billion tickets. to go to Mars.
Yeah,
and then when I'm in space, like then I swap back to being back on planet Earth.
Oh my God, I just love to see Donald Trump up there. All of a sudden, he starts acting like you and going like that and talking like this, and it's just. If you like that movie that Chris Rock was, where he I don't know if where he saw it.
Oh, right, yeah.
He played an old black guy all of a sudden.
Down to Earth, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
I mean, that premise has already been taken, and he started to do more things for the black community.
Exactly.
So, and they were starting to wonder what's going on.
But hey, Donald Trump cares about the black
day?
community. He says, "What do you got to lose?"
What do you got to lose? Well, I mean, a lot of African Americans that are actually behind Trump, they have some outrageous perspectives of what they think he's going to be able to do for the black community. But I mean, so far, if you look at what he's done in his career of building his business and his empire, how much support has he given to them in the past? And if you look into the future, you should be able to measure how one's going to do in the past based on what they're going to do in the future.
I don't know if you saw there's a couple of theories going around that maybe Donald Trump, now that he's getting onto it, he's going to come into a catch-22 where he can't lose because he's always winning. I'm always winning. and if he wins, he has to be president. And there's footage of him giving away stuff at a storm site, and he just looks so miserable. I mean, honestly, the president, essentially, you're dealing with other people's problems your whole time. So it's kind of like a catch-22. So maybe he doesn't even want to be president anymore. He doesn't know what to do. What he represents is that idea of the American dream coming to the forefront. You know, is this really what the American dream is? Because, but regardless of whether you're Republican or conservative, the guy has a base. Maybe a racist and bigoted base, but he has a base. Yeah. He's got supporters, and
it seems pretty massive.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, honestly, he made quick work of everybody. He's essentially in the primaries were just you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, I win. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It was like watching this election season, I mean, technically because I've worked in politics, you kind of like it when it is close. I mean, otherwise it's boring.
Well, it's been close for the past, 2 decades?
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of where we stand at this point in time now, relative to election day. The polls have been almost neck and neck, no matter who's been in the running.
Exactly. And that's actually because of how the states are organized up.
So that means it's a rigged system, as they say.
Oh my God.
I mean, you've heard them say that it's a rigged system. Both sides have said that. And there has been evidence of going to the polls and finding out that it's been rigged in terms of individuals not being able to vote and the machines malfunctioning.
That doesn't mean it's rigged. That doesn't mean it's rigged.
No, I'm saying evidence leaning towards supporting that it's rigged. I'm not saying I have no idea if it's rigged. I mean, I have no research to back up, put on the table, be like, there it is, it's rigged. I have nothing like that to be able to support that claim. Okay. I'm just saying, based on what the two candidates have said in the past, that it's rigged.